Hi guys, welcome to the live stream. I've just been sharing it on a few platforms so we can get some people. Um, just loading up the DS. Right, I'm going to be doing quite a lot of talking. Um, to make sure that this stream is, make sure we're doing some interactive stuff. I want you guys to um, take some notes and not, obviously, yeah. But let me just see. Okay. There's obviously zero people watching, but we'll wait for people to come into the stream. But I'm just going to talk anyways. I want to talk about, knowing your vision. Um, I've scribbled the words action. Okay, 'cause that's in NLP. That's quite. It seems to mean two things in NLP. Action means the end stage where you've been, where your goal is, but also taking action. So you obviously need to make sure that you take action on what you're doing. Now, your goal may be to start a new business. Um, if your goal is purely that, then what you need to do is know your vision, become a leader. As a matter of fact, you are a leader, but you need to believe in your vision. You need to believe in your vision, your goal. You need to know where your goal is. If your goal is speaking to you, um, that's where your vision is. Now, for instance, people could be saying, well, look, mm, I want to start like formation. A lot of fun possible, there's several nightclubs, there's lots of nightclubs. There's thousands of people in the game. You'll never get there. But it's when people say that, because DJing is not a real job, or um, how about an artist? When people say, "Oh, your artwork will never get in." There's too many people doing this. You'll never get in this trade. Okay, that people are going to put you down because what they do is a real job, and they've made money from it. They've made a living. They've been happy. They've been successful. They've done their they've lived their ordinary life. They've brought the money in. They've brought the food on the table, so they know how to do it. Okay, but when you want to go out there and do it yourself, it's then when that life comes complicated, and you kind of need to take the helm. You know, um, it's like when people say, um, "I'm going to start a phone company," and people turn around to you and say, "Well, you can't do that because there are thousands of phone companies. You can't register as a phone company." The thing is having the belief, having the it's knowing the belief. I'm just gonna kind of raise my head away from the screen. It'll hurt my neck, so I do apologize. But it's believing, it's having that belief. Um, it's knowing where those beliefs stand, where those beliefs are. It's knowing, having that leadership, taking that direction. Now, I want to talk about spiritual physics for a minute. I'm gonna not spiritual physics, spiritual law. You know there is a law of gravity, okay? We're going to discuss this in later videos. There is a law of gravity. I'm laughing because a friend of mine, um, he talked about this, and he had the Book of Mormon at his group. Um, I'm not going to show off a Bible or anything, but um, that's what made me chuckle because he did a group. He knows who he is. He's. I've invited him to come to the stream, but I don't know if he's going to come. Um, it's available to watch later if you've missed it and everything. So, you know, I mean, this is a course. I'm doing this as a series, so I'll be doing this every Monday now at 9 a.m. So instead of watching Jeremy Kyle, you can watch this, um, and become more successful. Not just in your businesses, as in your life. But anyway, you know how the law of thing must come down. Okay, there is spiritual law. Is the law of spirit. There's the law of is spirituality, which means go up. Okay. Have you noticed that when things float, they don't come down; they go up, right? And they stay because there is gravity while you are floating. You have the laws of gravity that's pinning you down, but you also have something which is floating you up. And then you have, again, you have more spiritual law that keeps you up. So, like I said, I'm going to cover this in another video because I'm going to research this more. But you must think, you must think of yourselves as leaders in everything you do. Um, if you have chores to do, you are a leader. If you have an authority, you're a leader. Okay. If you have an idea, you are a leader. A leader is not somebody who people follow. A leader is somebody who directs those people. A driver does not steer a car from the back seat. Okay. A driver does not. Um, a driver knows the directions where he or she is going. Not necessarily. I mean, okay. Um, I'd say navigators kind of know where they're going. But in a sense, when you are a leader, you are a driver and a navigator. And then the people you bring with you, they depends if you lose direction, they can take over being the navigator, but you must always need to know where the direction is. You must always need to know if you get lost and they get lost, you need to know, "Oh, hang on. Um, I need to know where this idea is going on path. I know this direction's going on path." Um, when I had I am reopening a building business. But when I had my first like pretend building business at Arnside Road, we lost direction. And I said to my colleagues, I said, I think we need to do this and this. Well, that somebody called me in the middle of my stream. Um, where was we before I got rudely interrupted? That's right. We're talking about getting back on. I am doing a YouTube video. It's strange. I'm getting messages while I'm doing YouTube, but hey, um, yeah. If you're on Facebook Messenger, you can always message me while I'm doing my YouTube videos. That's pretty cool. That makes things more interactive. I'm actually talking about NLP, which is linguistic language programming. Oh, I forgot to explain all of that in the beginning, didn't I? Um, but I'm going to talk about that more in my next slide. Um, and I've been researching Tony Robbins, who's a great guy, and he was talking about leadership, and he was talking about how not how you lose yourself on the right. Well, he did discuss that actually, because he discussed about losing your belief, and he discussed about knowing your goal, which we're going to come to in a minute. Um, but I want to talk about goals because having that goal, knowing where that goal is, making sure your vision isn't blurry. But having beliefs, spirituality, right? Um, Sometimes you can. Ooh, why is my Nintendo DS scratching the corner there? That's not good. Um, I'm using Flipnote Studio for anyone who's wanting to know what I'm using here on the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo DSi. Mine's an old edition. There you go. I'm being interactive. I'm talking to people on stream. Um, yeah, but Tony Robbins, he's a great guy, and I suggest you go and research him after you've done this video. But watch this video first. I'll point you to Tony Robbins. I forgot to do that in the description. But I will be pointing people to Tony Robbins. Um, and I also want to go, before I go any further, right? I want to say um, NLP. A lot of people, psychiatrists, don't want to know it. Okay, the people in the mental health industry don't want to know it. Unfortunately, um, I won't be my views on the mental health industry won't be in these videos. But if you are after those kind of videos, I'll point you to somebody else who I know. Um, or I'll point you to somebody else who I do know. Um, so, um, NLP. Yeah, let's discuss more on the visions. Okay, right. Making sure your vision isn't blurry. Now, like spirituality, when people are coming priests or vicars, they get a calling up above. Okay, and on that path, when you get that voice in your head saying, "Hey, Joe Blogs up the road, um, you can do this no matter what," right? And even when people blow you down, look at Bruce Springsteen. Okay, Bruce Springsteen, he was told to keep his mouth shut and play the guitar, right? What was his? That was his vision to do what he was doing. Okay, right? Um, there's people out there that do their thing because um, they have that vision, you know. Um, I mean, look at what was that great organization? Like, look at okay, there's a place where we go every summer with Galloways. It's called Water Park. It's an outdoor adventure center. Um, and the guy who started it, the guy who opened it, or well, the guy who designed it, is a guy called Eric Wright. Now he had a vision of making a place where people could go and have like these great adventures. Right now, that was a vision. You know the vision. It may be that you want to feed. It may be that you want to create jobs for 1,000 homeless people. Okay, be a big step. You know, you may dream about it. When and here's the thing, right? When you start dreaming about it, when you start going out in the freezing cold on a January and a winter's morning, I'll tell you my little story in a second. But when you start going out there, when you start researching, when you start fumbling through things, when you start seeing that vision, and that vision becomes a goal, and the goal becomes the action, and well becomes the belief, and then the belief becomes the action, and then it was clear. But then, if you just wanted to open how, it was backslash how and return. Dbase, it was cd backslash dbase and then return. Then it was um, dbase return. Then to open a record, no, to open the database, you had to type in the name of the database, and then you had to say backslash records, whatever, um, you know. Then you did, your field names. But DOS had to know what action you were putting in to make that thing happen. NLP works the same way. It works like the old MS-DOS prompt. We have to put the action in to make the action happen, and then sometimes we have to put even more action in to achieve that action that we've put in. Just let that sink in for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Let it sink in. I'm gonna see if there's anybody watching while we're letting that sink in. I'm gonna see if I can. There we go. All my messages are visible, so if anybody comes in to the chat, you can say hello. I probably might see it because the chat window goes very, very fast, but I will have a look every now and then just to see if there's anybody popping up. This is a live stream, so I need to make it interactive. And if you message me on Facebook as well, anybody who's watching, you can go into Facebook, message me on Facebook, and I'll see it on the chat, and I'll talk to you that way as well. On Facebook. I know a lot of people message me on Instagram, but I'm not really active on Instagram. I need to be actually because with certain things. Yeah, but I'm more active on Facebook. Don't know why. However, I had about 5 searches on LinkedIn the other day. So yeah. Right. Well, back to this then. I just did a little bit of chat there just to kind of let that sink in. Um, so, oh, by the way, before we go to the back to the NLP, um, I'm doing an MGRX talk soon in June, and we're doing that live to an imaginary conference room. But because of this amazing YouTube streaming thing that we've got here, we're able to set that all up now and do that kind of thing. I think we're doing a Facebook Live workshop as well, for anybody who's interested in that. Right, back to this NLP. So, you've noticed that I've kind of let you sink that in. What I'm going to do is I want to talk about Generation, a club that I've set up for disability people in a safe environment. But there's a few locals who go to it. And so on. You don't stop them from going in. But I've started that. Now, I was there's another club I won't mention for so reasons, but another venue in Southport, which I will not mention. Um, they said no, basically. I went out on a now I dreamt about this. Okay. Now I'd researched about disabled nightclubs. There was one in the Midlands and there's one in the Northeast, but that's open in the daytime. Okay. So I wanted to open my night, do the stay out late campaign. In actual fact, um, I'll be starting my own stay out late campaign, I think, by the way things are going. But um, I had a vision. I had a calling, if you will, that I will open a nightclub. And I wanted a night for myself where I could go out and enjoy because I wanted to go clubbing. Now the vision that this is the point, right? The vision was having that nightclub. You Some people say, "Oh well, I've got a vision. I had a dream last night about starting my own business." You don't have that if it's just a dream and you don't follow it through. Okay, it becomes a vision when you get up the next morning and you're researching. You're going to the library. It may be that you are wanting to start an online newspaper, so you look at online newspapers. You look at how they've done stuff. I've had that in the past as well, where I was going to do something else, and you've got the vision in mind, right? When people do, you know, um, and I would say get some coaching. If get some coaching, it goes a long way. Keep communicating with them coaches. Tell them what you've done, build portfolios, whatever. But back onto the vision, right? The vision must stay a vision. You must follow your vision. Okay? You must follow it. If you've dreamt about it, is everything is doable. People start talking about your vision, okay? And visions can change. You can change your visions, but you need to make sure that vision stays clear. There's actually a few places round the corner. I've been to a few places. Um, I went to. I was doing. I was working for a media company that didn't start out. They were going to be a CIC. The reason they didn't start out was because their vision wasn't clear. They didn't have a clear vision. They thought they had a clear vision, but they had a murky vision. Once your vision, well, you think, oh well, my vision's starting out clear. Once it goes murky, that's when you can't follow it no more. Um, we'll be discussing about how you can keep that vision in this video. I think we'll stay with the keeping the vision, because you need to keep the vision, because if you lose, if your vision goes murky, right? If you have imagine a dirty glass, okay? Imagine your vision is in a clear vision, but then suddenly there's a bliss of fog, or you're looking through a dirty glass all of a sudden, and you think that vision is still clear. Well, if you're seeing through a murky glass, it won't be clear, but you can clear that vision. You can also change it. You can also go, well, actually, in fact, I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that. If your vision was money, right, and you know that's not going to work instantly, you need to change it very quickly to pushing your audience. And if that's not going to be the thing, you need to change it for helping people out. If you're providing a service, money will make your vision murky. You know, I'm not saying that's a thing that you should be thinking about, but it's a thing that you should be thinking less about. And a lot of people want to get rich quick, and we'll be discussing that in another video, because the rich, the rich are rich, and the poor are poor. That's kind of a video for another day. Just stay with me, people. I've just got to turn my headset off. Okay, guys, I'm back. I can't do things like I did them. Why is my camera blurred? Shouldn't be like that. So we discussed on a murky vision. Now, I don't want to move on till we've got this in place. I need people to understand that the vision is doable. You can follow your vision. Your vision can start out as a dream, and you can follow that. I also discussed in this earlier on about you moving, basically you losing your vision, making money, and we're discussing about the vision. But the vision is really important, because even on a lot of business plans, what's the first thing that you should be thinking about? Your vision. I just did the silence to make people are watching this to make it sink in. I'm just going to check to see if anyone's watching. No, don't finish it.
Filters. Button. Chat options. Button. Chat view option. Top chat. Some messages, such as potential spam, may not. Chat view options. Hey. Live. None. Hide all chat messages. Live chat. All messages are visible selected. Button. Finish. Button. Zip. Zero watching now. 0 likes.
Okay, I'm not going to do that. I saw a Facebook comment before on Facebook. Someone was asking, you're not discussing how you can achieve the vision. Well, hold on, okay? Well, I'm not jumping the gun. You know, it's just that I'd rather kind of make sure people can see what's happening. Now, when you write a business plan, the first thing you have is your vision. Then you have your goal. Then you have how you're going to make money, what money you're going to make, how you're going to sell, blah, blah, your audience and all that kind of thing. But you should always have a vision statement. Your vision statement could be anything. It could be, I'm going to do such a thing. My vision is I'm going to make a nightclub for people with disabilities and blah, 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 blah. Right? Now, sometimes even just making a scatty note with, my vision is to do this and that. Okay? Because your vision statement, or just writing a scatty note, is having a map. Okay? Let's say you're driving to the... let's just say you're driving to the... oh, where can we drive to? Let's just say you are driving to the West Coast. Okay? Now, let's just say you get in your car. You've got in your car. You're at the helm. And you've forgotten your map. Okay? That could be for a person who is the get-rich person. He's the guy that's going, I'm getting in my car today, and I'm going to... I'm very sorry if I am doing these metaphorical things, but I'm getting in my car, and I'm going to drive to the West Coast with map, because I'm a get-rich-quick person. I'm going to get rich quick. I'm going to do my business. I'm going to be the man with all the money, live in my big mansion. Right? That's not how it happens. You see these people, and they advertise, you know, there's a guy advertising on YouTube, and he was going, well, this is how you could go from living in a trailer to living in this massive mansion in the Hollywood Hills, you know, with a jacuzzi and all this crap, right? Seriously, if we could do that really quickly by the press of a button, just think about how many millions of people would be having mansions in the Hollywood Hills, you know, with you know, with the millions of pounds, with the maid, you know, cleaning the toilet for them. But, you know, this is basically, can you see where I'm at, right? Your vision. Now, I really have to talk about the vision, the goal, okay? It's like, right, if you're on a football pitch, right, and the goalpost is in the car park, right, okay? And you're thinking, this goal's too far, right? What about the goal on the actual pitch? And then you're thinking, well, hang on, that goal on the pitch, I could reach that. Maybe I'll move that goal to nearer to the car park. Okay, just a little nearer to the car park. It's not actually on the car park where the other goal is, but it's there. It's near the car park, okay? Now, let's just say you've reached that goal. That's fantastic. But you could move that goal. Not saying it's not achievable, but you could move that goal. And you could have little goals along the way. Little movements. You can always move the posts further and further away till you achieve it. You could always bring it nearer. But do not move your vision. Just change your vision. Now, you can always repaint a wall, but you can't literally physically move a wall. not physically. You can't just lift it up and move it. Right? Okay. So your vision is like painting a wall, renovating a kitchen. I actually helped somebody do a booklet, and I said something about renovating the future. They nearly fell off their chairs, you know. But we all think differently. Some of us think more symbolically. Some of us think less. Some of us find it hard. I've got I always I have a couple of friends that work for McDonald's, and it always makes me laugh when they say, "I'm leaving McDonald's tomorrow. I'm gonna get a better job." Woo! Right. um, do you know why that makes me laugh? Because what is a better job, right? When I see them at McDonald's tomorrow, they haven't got that better job. I know some people who have. But it makes me laugh when people say, I hate this job, I'm going to get a better job. Right? They're the people with murky visions. Seriously. They're the people with murky visions. Now, let's just say we take the guy who's working in McDonald's, right? And he's staring at the floor. And all of a sudden, he sees a vision. In fact, the guy who wrote Orbital, right? That techno track, that famous track, Chimes by Orbital. You know that famous track that goes bam 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 bum 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 bum. Yeah, that track, right? Basically, the guy who wrote it was working in a pizza restaurant, washing dishes, right? He was washing dishes in a pizza restaurant. This is a true story. I watched it on I think he was on a rave documentary on the Channel 4 rave. What's it called? Something of history of rave or something like that. It's on YouTube somewhere. And the guy was saying that when he did that track, he was just seeing how tape machines. He was messing around with tape machines or something, and he was in this pizza restaurant washing dishes, and so I'm just watching my phone on charge as well. I'm doing about 3 things at once. And when he released that track, he said, I probably might never make it big on Top of the Pops. And the guys at the pizza restaurant just said, well, your job's here for when you want it back, But he made it massive. He made, he's probably got his, I mean, he's not done anything else. He did about 2 other tracks with Orbital, but they never made it big. But I don't know what he's doing now, but he's obviously got the life he's living. But he's not needed to do anything else. He's probably reached his goal. He's probably thought, right, mansion on in Ibiza or wherever. I've got my mansion. I've got my people. I've probably got a more successful job than what I had before. I don't need to be in the music business anymore. And he was, he was in the music business in a great time when record companies took chances. They don't do that anymore. They'd rather make plastic music that doesn't exist because that is what people will buy. But if people make records and they make success to the point where they do live in that mansion, it might be that you make a film and it creates
5,000. I mean, look at Howard Scott. I need to re-listen to that interview, but look at Howard Scott, right? He didn't kill the video game industry. What killed the video game industry was the people who are marketing the video game ET, right? Howard Scott was not unintelligent. He was not just getting pushed by Atari, but he was also getting pushed by Spielberg. Now, this does not get mentioned. Video gamers don't even talk about it. It was a journalist who kind of said, "Oh, this crappy ET game killed, Atari." It was like a few years ago. Candy Crush Saga apparently killed the video game industry again. No, it didn't kill the video game industry. What killed the video game industry? What nearly crashed the video game industry was people putting like these big games onto mobile devices. You know? All these updated levels and stuff. Personally, I don't like, computer games now. I don't. I would rather play Sonic the Hedgehog, or it seems to be working well that way. With heists and